What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and unfortunately, as potentially predicted, the whole lot of love from Led Zeppelin being in the trailer of the D&D movie trailer again for Honor Among Thieves that comes out next year. I did a kind of quick and dirty trailer reaction. Problem being, yeah, even though I talked over the entire time, just the smallest snippet of that song was enough to get that video copyright struck, so I deleted it because that's how these things work in YouTube land. But the panel has since happened where they talked a little bit more about some interesting things that I will go over for you now. We will once again react to the trailer, but I cannot have any music of it playing at all in the background. So I will play it and we'll take a look, and I guess I can talk through it because you can't hear it anyway. So okay, so we'll get through this whole intro, and I'll say the trailer is starting soon. Here we go. And we guess we can pause it. So this, I believe, is Neverwinter right here. Now, it's smaller because I don't believe Waterdeep is obviously on the coast, so is Neverwinter, but I believe that's where this is supposed to take place. So I think that's what we're seeing here. Again, here we are in the city. We can see some banners of different things. We saw some of these in pre-production. We can see a dragon shown off right here as well. Here's most of our party here, right? We have a team of thieves, so we have Chris Pine's character. We have all of them. We even know now their names and things, so we'll take a look at that. Now this looks like maybe was it Storm King's Thunder? Maybe the sort of where the fire giants are. Also, it was said by Chris Perkins in one of the videos. They said they've used a lot of locations from adventures you may have played through, pre-written adventures. So it's sort of like a payoff for having played through it. You'll get to see some of those things in this. This could also be not Gragglestug. Oh, the Dwarven Ancient City. Not Jesus, what the hell is it called? Man, it'll come to me. But Gauntlgrim. Could be Gauntlgrim. Okay, so we saw that. Now they're opening up some sort of thing to get, it looks like a crown of some kind, which appears to be a magic item. I'm not sure which specific magic item it's supposed to be. Now that I think was Waterdeep, what we just saw. Here we can see an open battle. Now, one thing I really do like is watch this black dragon as it flies. You can see it spray acid because black dragons breathe acid, not fire, and you can actually kind of see like the caustic acid doing all the damage, although the acid did blow up that trebuchet, but either way. All right, let's keep going. Entertainment One, Hasbro Company. That might have been like this Saltmarsh-ish. I'm not sure. Well, I guess Saltmarsh isn't technically Forgotten Realms, so I'm not sure what this location is, but they're running away from something, running into. Now here they have some sort of, looks like almost like a horn, and this is the thing that they sold the wrong thing, gave it to the wrong people. Now this looks, I'm going to assume we're in Thay here. Is this Zastam, the Lich? I'm thinking so. And then we can see someone maybe casting a shield spell or something here. This looks reminiscent of the art we've seen for shield. Again, we can see there's a spider crawling over here on these. I'm not sure if that's specifically something, but all right, they're gonna go get a drink in a tavern. This is, I think, Revel's End from Icewind Dale Rime with the Frostbane, the great prison there. I know that one with the broken feet from something. All right. So here we are. We saw that looked like that axe. I don't know if this could be an axe of a weapon. This could be Frostshine, maybe an Azer, or maybe it's just a specific weapon. Very cool. I love the fight scenes, by the way, too. They look very nice and well choreographed. Then we have, again, here's our paladin character. Let's go back. Here. Oh, I know this. I forget what this is from. This particular thing, but we can see all these guys look like they may be Thayans, possibly. You can see the tattoos on their heads. And then here, I'm assuming this is possibly a visual representation of Divine Smite. And you can throw it and get the dagger. There's that skull. Again, there was also, I don't know if you caught it, there was something after this. Do you see this? We have these sort of either floating drift globes or some sort of floating orb here. And then we have, is she a tiefling? Is she, I mean, I'm thinking possibly tiefling. I was thinking initially maybe satyr, but she might actually be a tiefling. Now here we can see her transform into a white snowy owlbear. Not a thing a druid can typically do, but I'm wondering if that's just going to be something made up for the movie. Also, I like the transition back to a druid. Here we can see, is this Mount Hope now, the volcano north of Neverwinter? Not sure. Then we have this I think was that dragon we saw at the start. That was the statue. So this sort of like animated in defense of the city, possibly. And we just saw some sort of, was that a plane shift? I don't know what that spell was. Here we can see again, just walking around. This looks to be the Underdark in some form. What location in the Underdark, I'm not sure. But either way, awesome to see. Here again, this is Green Flame Blade. Quite possibly the spell. Again, looks to possibly be a Thayan Knight of some kind. Again, I'm assuming because of the head tattoos. Okay, here we can see it again. Again, I'm digging it. I don't think it looks bad. The effects look well done. The fight scenes look done well as again. So lightning bolt, that was sort of maybe either a fireball or a meteor storm blocked maybe by a shield spell. Now here they are in an arena, seemingly doing some sort of fight. We've got a maze coming up. There's Hugh Grant, our villain. Here's the Mimic attacking Michelle Rodriguez's character. We can see a Harper pin there on his lapel. So he used to, at least if he's not now or was then, he was a member of the Harpers. Now here they're jumping away from a displacer beast by diving into a gelatinous cube, which is a weird move. If we go back, sorry, I meant to go frame and I went a little bit further. We can see this looks to be here they're fighting. Oh, she has a tail, so I believe she is a tiefling, the druid. There's the sort of tiefling style tail. Here's again fighting a red wizard. Looks like he's leaping here. This is magic missile. Then he maybe misty steps or teleports away from the owlbear up top. Now, this, I didn't know what this was, but I think this is a red dragon. I think this is Themberchaud. I think the big chonky dragon from Out of the Abyss. Again, yeah, it looks to be a red dragon. It's just a chunky boy. Or go Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. And then we get our little comedy bit about how he makes up the plans. And what's the point if they already have the plan? And then just playing the loot. Okay. So let's go see what else we have. So here is the synopsis revealed. I don't think we get too much more from this. A charming thief and a band of unlikely heroes undertake an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves brings the rich world and playful spirit of the legendary role-playing game to the big screen in a hilarious and action-packed adventure. Now, this also exists here. This is a Entertainment Weekly sort of doing interviews and things with the cast. As you can see, if we go ahead, here they are talking to the various people in the cast as well as the directors. Now, I will say that Christian Hoffer from comicbook.com did a great job of just sort of breaking that down. So, as you can see here, he said they did a brief. He said it's a heist movie in a fantasy setting. Characters will level up over the course of the movie. I assume this will be something like we'll see them get new gear, possibly new abilities, which is a fundamental part of Dungeons & Dragons, so I appreciate that. Chris Pine knew nothing about D&D before the movie. His nephew gathered the whole Pine family together to play before they started filming, and now he advocates that all classes across the country, schools and things should have D&D clubs in them. Sophia Lillis, who was the druid, is apparently an avid D&D player, and I also think it's funny that Michelle Rodriguez is rubbing in Vin Diesel's face that she's in the D&D movie and he's not. And then it said they were talking about how long it took to go to the bathroom with the costumes. Apparently, Sophia Lillis had 2 corsets, so it took her 40 minutes to get out of it. And I think there's a couple clarifications there where he had said every school should have it. All right, so then the panel started. So they said behind-the-scene footage for the D&D movie, he says here, apparently included a Kenku. So we may be seeing a Kenku in this movie. It says, took some of this, Industrial Light and Magic and Legacy Effects did the effects for the D&D movie, which, I mean, Industrial Light and Magic is one of, if not the best special effects company out there, the folks behind, it was Lucas's original team for Star Wars and things like that. So we have a really good team behind the special effects, and I do think it shows from what we saw already. Now, this is interesting. The D&D kids from the cartoon show show up as a rival party. So our party that we see here will be rivaled by Presto and Diana and everybody. That'll be really interesting to see. I'm actually very excited to hear that. We also have this, which looks to be a new poster, possibly getting around the controversy from the previous video I made. And this one very clearly not stealing Pathfinder art. Then we had the trailer again. Revel's End, the prison in Icewind Dale around the Frost Maiden, was invented for. Oh, look at that. Revel's End, the prison scene in Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden, was invented for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. That is Neverwinter that appears in the movie. Waterdeep also appears. That tracks from what we said. So that's interesting to see that the adventure was influenced by the movie. Pretty cool stuff. Official D&D movie synopsis. We covered that already. Okay. And Christian Hoffer says he thinks it also might be Themberchaud. And this other article here gives us a little bit more about the character. So Chris Pine is Elgin, a bard. Elgin notably wears a harper pin in several scenes in the trailer, hinting that he might be part of the famed organization. Michelle Rodriguez is Holga, a barbarian. Regé-Jean Page is, I guess, I assume that's Zenk, a paladin. Justice Smith is Simon, a sorcerer. Sophia Lillis is Doric, a druid. Doric notably is a tiefling and even has a tail. We saw that. It also may be possibly a new subclass that allowed her to transform into an owlbear. As we know, druids as they stand currently cannot do that. So that may be a fun thing that she's just able to do that others are not. Perhaps the DM in her particular world is nice enough to allow her to do that. And Hugh Grant is Forge, a rogue. An early report from the movie described him as Forge Fletcher. I don't think there's much more beyond that. The Red Wizards of Thay were strongly hinted at to be villains of the movie based on their appearance fighting the cast along with Grant's Forge, Neverwinter, and so on. So I think that's pretty much all we have to go off of. I'll just refresh his Twitter feed and see if there was anything else. But that is all we have for the movie, although I should say that it was also brought to my attention that they announced a D&D toy, that there is going to be here it is, a Nerdist posted it, Gelatinous Cube Toy that goes along with the movie. And you can see this actually looks to be Chris Pine's character contained within the Gelatinous Cube. So this is like a movie toy, not a miniature to be used for the game, though you could use it for such. So this is, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves will bring the role-playing game back to the big screen. And of course, with the release of a new movie means toys. This is Hasbro. This shouldn't be a surprise. Look to none other than Hasbro for your D&D Honor Among Thieves action figure fix. It's the first complimentary toy line from Hasbro for D&D, which is also true. We have never seen Hasbro themselves make things for Dungeons and Dragons. You're going to want to add this to your collection to your traveling party. Nerdist has an exclusive first look at the item. Take a look at the Gelatinous Cube. This is one of the items that will launch Hasbro's Dungeons & Dragons toy line. So we will be getting a Dungeons & Dragons toy line. I'm actually not surprised, given that the soon-to-release Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, which is exclusive to Target for a few months, is the new starter adventure that also brings us the characters from the cartoon, who apparently are also going to be present in Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. That's a great opportunity to make toys of the cartoon characters who are in the adventure, who classic fans will also want to have toys of, and are also in the movie. So that's a really good toy marketing strategy. Please note you can put a figure into the Gelatinous Cube. The cube is a monster in D&D, can absorb blah, blah, blah. Bringing the world of D&D to toys is no small task. Hasbro Senior Manager of Product Design, Kevin Evans, told Nerdist, "I'm so honored that I get to speak on behalf of a wide range of amazing, passionate team members at Hasbro, including our friends at Wizards. The D&D team is made up of lifelong D&D fans that have poured their heart and soul into this adventure. At its core, D&D is a cooperative storytelling game told by a bunch of friends. The journey of making this toy line was very similar, and that we all came together to tell this story through toys and figures. We are so proud of what we've made, and we think fans are really going to like how it turned out. You can see there's a variety of different items here, like a bag of holding, for example. When it comes to developing the ominous gelatinous cube into a toy, if there's ever going to be an ideal D&D monster that was tailor-made to interact with our 6-inch scale Golden Archive figure line, the gelatinous cube was it. From the instant we started to work on this brand, we wanted this to not only be an amazing monster that core and movie fans would love, but also a cool display piece for collectors to show off their figures. I obviously will be buying this myself. Evans noted that it was a challenge to design something that has been in people's imaginations for years. The team worked to make the gelatinous cube interactive while also meeting fans' aesthetic expectations. Another challenge was getting a 6-inch figure to balance inside the cube and appear as though it was suspended in goo. The team came up with a cool solution to bring this pivotal moment of the film to life. It's going to look awesome on shelves, and as a added bonus, we got to talk to a lot about the physics of goo. We can see a couple different pictures of it. We can see some other items contained inside as well. Okay, back to the article. You'll notice it has 14 objects stuck in the sticky substance. Evans pointed out the accessories capture storytelling old and new. We paid homage to the legacy of D&D with our selections of the accessories. The variety of 14 accessories bring to life some of the key weapons and magical objects from the movie, but also a nod to nearly 50 years of brand legacy. The team also got to discuss exploring a fantasy world. Hasbro's typical wheelhouse is sci-fi and spandex. No one does it better. This is our first foray into a medieval-style fantasy realm with the garb to go with it. We understand every decision made by a movie costume designer is an integral part of storytelling and what's core to the character. Our job is to bring those intricate movie details to life as accurately as possible and make these characters transcend the screen for collector shelves. This also highlights the wonderful collaboration between our partners at Entertainment One and Paramount, who gave us unparalleled access to screen references to make sure these figures were as screen accurate as possible. We can't wait to reveal the movie figures someday very soon. It will be available in spring of 2023. It's a 6-inch scale, makes it compatible with 6-inch figures, posed with an invisible stand inside. 14 accessories snap onto the cube, and you can pre-order it from Hasbro Pulse and a retailer such as Entertainment Earth beginning today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to go do that right after I'm done with this video. So what do you think, folks? Do you think I was right in my concept of they might try to tie this into an adventure? I think bringing in the cartoon characters is definitely part of that, I would say. I would think that on top of that, you're also going to have them tied to other adventures, so that's a good move. And I don't know, I mean, it's everybody always said they wanted a live action version of the D&D cartoon, so this is kind of getting the best of both worlds. So I'm excited about the movie. I know a bunch of you are down on it, but you know, maybe I'm just being overly optimistic. I don't know. But I like what I saw. And I'm not looking for a super serious, like, dark, you know, series. A good popcorn flick that's Dungeons and Dragons that I'll enjoy, and realistically, probably for the best amount of money for the company to make, that the general public will enjoy. I'm down with that. I could go see this with my D&D group. I could go see it with my wife, maybe even my kids. I'm down. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.